Okay, now there's the original location over there. You can see the orange stake. We just had a jogger run by. Of course, I think this is the same guy that jogged by about 2 or 3 weeks ago when I was checking on the bridge right here. I come flying out from under the bridge, and I'm sure he thought it was a mugging about to happen. But then they see the dogs. Dogs always let people know you're kind of cool, unless it's some like rangy pit bull that's like trying to rip somebody a new one. Anyway, I have found what I think is a much better spot. It's not too far away. I wasn't able to make anything happen with the weird curly limb tree, but that will be part of my description. I'll say look for the weird curly Q tree. But anyway, while we're here, I thought I'd have a real quick talk about containers. Okay, here's my little tripod. Oscar's already checking out the cache site. What do you think, bud? Good? Okay. Okay, this is what's called a lock and lock. Okay, you can see various people do videos. Head Hard Hat is a guy I think out in the East Coast. He does good videos. Check his stuff out. But everybody talks about let's not put out a container that just sucks from the get-go. Okay. Here's no offense. I brought one of these just for sake of showing it to you. This is a Tupperware makes these, or somebody, Glad. This is not Tupperware in the traditional sense. This is a flimsy, short-lived container. Okay. I've actually talked to Head Hard Hat about these things. And, you know, a point's a point. We all appreciate people putting a cache out there. But you put something out like this, an animal's going to chew it up. It's going to crack. Just, you know, anything that bumps into it, it's going to split. They're very susceptible to UV. So if any light gets on it, it's just going to disintegrate. I mean, if you're putting something out in these, that's great. I can't tell you how many caches I've rehabbed that have been in these things. They just don't hold up. Okay, now let's take a look. Put that down. Let's go and take a look at our lock and lock here. Now, lock and lock, and it's kind of hard to see because I've got it sitting on my little kit bag here, my caching bag. Okay, you got 4 locks all around the sides. Okay, the lid has a gasket on it. Okay, that gasket's going to keep water out. Now, what are we bringing to put in our cache? Okay, got to have loot, right? Try to put good loot in there. I got a little mini logbook. I got a stash note. I got a couple Eisenhower bicentennial silver dollars. Okay, now I put some of this stuff in. Doesn't have to be expensive stuff, but cool stuff is cool. You know, I mean, there's no getting around it. There's a hand warmer packet. There's a Space Monster Star Wars guy. There's a pen. I like to use these. These are Uniball. Makes these, but it's got a gel ink, and it's waterproof ink, and they don't freeze. Okay, so I usually like pencils, but I like writing with a pen when I can, and those don't freeze. Now let's look. We got all kinds of good junk in here. There's a little Woody character, just in case Deermark, prolific cacher. He's always putting Woodies in the woods. In case he might be up here. We got a rubber duck. We got a couple Super Balls. We have Grey Poupon, but of course, this is from out at Mount Rainier. This is don't be a meadow stomper, stay on the trails. Okay, we do bushwhack out here. Out there, it's a lot more sensitive. For the nostalgia folks out there, we got a Nixon, Richard Nixon for president button. God, signal whistle. What else? We got a pin-on jacket compass. That's always a handy thing. People like getting those. There's a carabiner. There's a couple of stretchy rubber tree frogs. I love GIS Day. We all love the GIS service. Keep those maps current. We have a P-38 universal can opener. It's a World War II holdout. And of course we have, for no particular reason, a heavy-duty brass boat propeller. Okay, now that's a lot of junk, right? But that's all good stuff. And anybody's going to want to trade here. Okay, ooh, there's lobster. Somebody put that in there. But see, you don't have to like go overboard. But on the other hand, nobody likes to walk all that way and find one that doesn't have squat in it. So what we're doing is we're setting up a cache here where people are going to say, hey, nice loot. You know, it's very gratifying to have people write in their logs that found your cache, really dug it, a lot of nice stuff, as opposed to found your pill bottle wrapped in tape, it's wet, and it sucked. So we're going to seal this all back up. We're going to get this hidden here in a minute, if I can get the pen to go back in there. Okay, there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this out here. It's going to be a little ways away from the original site, but we are going to have a cache that is a good cache that people will want to come find. It's going to be dry inside. Okay, it's not that hard to lock those things back up, but lock them up. And all I did with this box, okay, these things, I got these things for $2 a throw at the local Walmart closeout. This is the, it says right on it, lock and lock. It's not some mysterious thing. These things are very sturdy containers for what you pay. Found these at a closeout store. You can get them anywhere. $2 a piece. Then I invested in $4 in a can of, I like the Krylon brand spray paint because it sticks to plastic. It doesn't flake off. There's some others out there that I've used and they end up falling apart. But we're going to go ahead and hide this thing, and got our rangy old tree, rangy old dog. All right, let's quit talking. Let's hide that cache, put it out, then see if the reviewers will accept it. My understanding is that once a cache has been archived, you can put another cache where it was, and this is a few feet away, but this is going to be a much better cache. I understand that that was a match container, which those things are okay, but it's just a rolled up piece of paper. There's nothing there to trade. This just being a little off the trail, it's going to be a lot harder to find, and hopefully it'll hold up. So I'm going to get it hid, and then I'll be right back. Oh, definitely take your coordinates. These things have a function called averaging, so when you're setting it down, you set the GPS unit down, set it to averaging, and it'll take like a reading every few seconds, and for the 15 minutes you're here putting the thing out, you'll end up with much better numbers. So let's see what we can do.